Yo.
Yo.
We back. What's up, Ken?
Hey, man, you know it ain't nothing but that.
Yes, sir.
Boy, it's NCAA tournament time, and the Heels are smacking Marquette down as we speak, dog.
I know, man. You know, when you got, 8-9? What's it called? Matchup?
Yeah.
You see them numbers, they look the same. You get a little worried, but, man, I felt good. I was like, I think Carolina going to handle business, and that's what they're doing, bro.
Hey, man, they up by like 20, 25, 30 points right now, so let's hope it holds up, man.
You like the last time I checked, they was up by almost 30.
Feeling real good, dog. Feeling real good.
How you feeling, man? You feeling? Hey, let me tell you something, man. I tweeted today, bro. I went out about 3 o'clock, ride down the highway. Here go Graham writing on this board, y'all. He done pulled up. Oh, you know what? Graham out here producing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
UNC done won the game 95-63 over Marquette.
Yes,
I feel you, dog. I'm sorry, LG. Do your thing, Playboy.
Put it down,
do your thing, man.
Put it down now.
LG got a little rocking chair, so if y'all hear the little squeaking, it's a rocking chair that LG got that he's sitting in.
Yeah. That's what, 95 minus 63. That's what, 32 or something?
You went to Carolina,
Look, I didn't take any math related courses at all.
Man, when I was up there, I was looking at all the buildings. I was like, I wonder, the little building, it looked like it's an not apartments, but a dorm, like right across from what's that, Rams Head parking deck?
Mm-hmm.
And like where I guess the lacrosse team or everybody play. I don't know what. It's some fields right there, but right across it looked like some big dorm rooms. Are those dorms?
Yeah, probably.
You
more
think
likely.
so?
Yeah.
Man, I was like, I went Ken stayed in them right there.
Man, I stayed in Hinton James.
Oh yeah, that's the famous one,
People
right?
know that I stayed in Hinton James, and all my friends and boys that I rolled out with at Chapel Hill stayed in Hinton James. Used to be the Black Dorm. Everybody knew that. That was the Black Dorm. in of all places, South Campus, right?
Wow.
But the people who went through that Hinton James experience, man, we all still tight, man.
Man.
Then you moved up to Morrison, and then some people moved on to North Campus.
Oh, okay.
But Hinton James was where it all kicked off. Everybody knows what's up. Everybody knows what's up with Hinton James, though.
Man, so I was gonna tell you earlier today, man, it's that day. You know, when you get that, all the rain kind of go past and the cold weather go past, man, the sun shining, daylight saving times done hit. Dog, man, I rolled the windows down. I'm gonna set the vibe. I had the windows down, Ken. Whoo, it felt good outside, and I had that We Are One pumping with Frankie Beverly Mays, dog.
Don't talk.
Man, that was a whole vibe.
Man, yes, Frankie will get you in that mood, but when the weather's like this, like it is in Charlotte, boy, it's something else right now, man.
It is, man. How
See,
you doing?
I got on short sleeve shirt right now,
I see you, man. You making
it's
me
70-something degrees out there, man.
You making me feel hot, right?
Yeah. We might even go over to Jay's house and get in the pool. You know what I'm saying?
Man, yeah. I think they got one over there. What's up, man? You doing all right this week?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a busy week. Hard week.
I see, man. You ain't called me all week, I don't think.
Man, these mediations and hearings and all that, man. It's been crazy, man. I need a break, man.
I feel you, man.
I need a vacation, man. Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm going for my vacation.
When we going?
It might be next year.
Oh.
I'm gonna go. That's where I go for vacation. It's Charleston, man.
All right, man. I want to go. Me and Chris are going next time. We're gonna
Folly
leave
Beach.
Jay with the grand. Ooh, Folly Beach, dog. Man, don't get me started, boy. I had some shrimp and grits. I don't eat meat no more, boy. I had some shrimp and grits on Folly Beach, on that little balcony where you can look over the ocean.
I know, man. Your toes just sinking the sand, dog. Sand just melt. Your toes melt in that sand on Folly Beach, man.
Man, what we talking about today? What we talking about, man?
Give me a minute to get back to Charlotte.
I'm sorry, my bad.
I was enjoying that, man. But hey, man, look, we got man, it's gonna be strange tonight because we're gonna eat what's this, rice pudding? We usually eat vegetables first, and then we're gonna eat the dessert, right? And the vegetables, as our listeners know, are typically the legal or political topics that we talk about first. Mm-hmm. And then we get to that dessert, which is the sports and entertainment. But tonight, man, we got kind of a mixture. Each topic is a mixture, well, except for the Ukraine piece. But man, Deshaun and Kyrie, man, that's a mixture of sports, entertainment, and legal. Isn't that the world we live in now?
Yeah, man. You trying, dog. You trying to mix the thing. This is like an episode of Chop when they give you all the, they give you like some biscuits and they give you like all the savory stuff and say, hey, make a dessert out of this.
Throw some broccoli in at the end. And you got to figure out how to put broccoli in.
Yeah. But, man, I'm excited to talk about Deshaun Watson, man. Yeah. We haven't, the podcast, we only been doing this for a few months right now. And all of Deshaun's, like, last year this time, well, I guess before the football season last year in 2021, Deshaun Watson was going through a lot. And so now we finally get to talk about it because he's like, I'm almost free now. And it's a lot to deal with.
It is, man. They have that saying, man, the grand jury has spoken. Grand jury has spoken in Deshaun Watson's case.
Yeah.
And it's good news for Deshaun.
Okay. So this is what I want to do, when we get these complex legal situations, I want to really lean on you to help walk us through the situation. So do you want to tell what happened last year or you want me to kind of set it up about?
Yeah, you go ahead and set it up, Jay.
Well, I remember last year, Deshaun Watson, he was feeling a little froggy. He was feeling good about himself. He was balled out that year before. And he was like, yo, man, your hometown, Houston. Yo, I'm out, dog. Trade me. He had just signed a deal for 4 or 5 years worth of $100 and some odd million, and he wanted to be out. All I know out of the woodwork, a whole bunch of women started talking about some stuff he was doing in some massage parlors like they talk about on Fred Selman, and it got real crazy. And at that time, I remember hitting you up and it was like, asking you how his lawyer was doing. And he had all of these I don't know if the civil case, you had all of these women who were accusing him of things. And then you had some of them, not all, were some criminal cases where they went and spoken to the police. So can you kind of paint the picture of what he was facing with all 22 women who all of those cases weren't a situation where he was going to be criminally charged or anything like that? Can you help us walk through that part?
If I remember correctly, there were 10 counts.
Okay.
And it was just this collection of women who I believe some of them or most of them he had retained to give him massages.
That is correct.
And they alleged that during the course of the massages, he engaged in some inappropriate conduct, including one of them I think alleged forced oral sex.
Yes.
And so really,
that was a young girl. It was a young lady that they were talking about.
So it got scary because I mean these are serious charges, and the prosecutor was looking to indict him on all of these charges, and this would have been a very serious case, and he might have faced some very serious jail time.
And this was Ken. And this was a time where he was coming up. Deshaun was white hot as far as on the field. And he had if I could say a pristine image, and no one would have ever thought that Deshaun Watson would do anything remotely close to these things. So it was a shock all at the same time.
It was, man. And I'm telling you, Deshaun went to Clemson, correct?
That's right.
And I just loved him as a college athlete, his demeanor, his positivity, kind of the way he carried himself with an air of humbleness. Mm-hmm. But just a remarkable, unique athlete. Yeah. And so it was kind of out of the woodworks. Nobody anticipated from his personality, you would have never thought that these charges would have been ever been a topic or ever been an issue for him.
That's right. Dabo Swinney, the head coach of Clemson, called him the Michael Jordan of football. Yeah. Yeah, he had it going on, man. But this all came to a screeching halt right before the football season started, and it just, you had one victim or one person came out and alleged that he had did some things, and then it was like the floodgates opened up, and it skated all the way up to about 22 before it was all over.
Yeah, and then you end up with the prosecutors presented the case to the grand jury. Mm-hmm. And as you know, the grand jury works in secret. So this can be a very, very stressful time for an individual who's facing potential charges.
Can I ask you why the grand jury works in secret? Why is that?
Well, you want to give them the opportunity to review the information without any interference. Okay. Any fear of any repercussion. Okay. After the process is over, You want there to be this pristine review of the evidence and a yes or no concerning whether or not these charges will be brought. And remember, the grand jury is deciding whether or not a person will be indicted, whether or not the charges will move forward, not whether or not a person is guilty.
Gotcha.
So you do want a pristine environment and give them every opportunity to review the evidence without interference and make a clear decision. The decision has to be by a supermajority. It's not this decision by a unanimous vote like you would require in a criminal trial.
Okay.
And so you've got a situation where supermajority, 3/4, 2/3 could lead to an indictment. And so apparently in this case, the prosecutors presented the evidence against Deshaun Watson to the grand jury. They reviewed the evidence and decided that there wasn't enough evidence for the charges to move forward. And what a relief for Deshaun.
Yeah, what's crazy, Ken, is that it took a year. He lost an entire year of football. The whole 2021 to 2022 season, he was out of football. And, you know, some could say that was unfortunate. I think he still got paid. I don't think that was an issue. But he lost a year of his, of his playing career.
You think of how taxing it is to have to wait and hear whether or not you're going to be indicted. And then, you know, we've seen it with celebrities and athletes in the past with O.J. Simpson or Snoop or Michael Jackson or even Kobe. I remember
R.I.P.
all of the pressure that you have when you have a trial or you're under the weight of a potential trial. What Deshaun Watson just avoided was that. He doesn't have to worry about that now. You know, he doesn't have to go through that process to be found guilty or innocent. He can move forward with his life, but there's still some civil cases out there.
I would say one thing I did notice, man. He did one thing I learned from you. When you going through something legally, close your mouth. Shut up, sit down somewhere, and just be quiet. And I hadn't heard a peep from him in a whole year until you recently made a statement after the grand jury said, you know, they're not going to pursue anything.
It's true. In fact, they took some civil depositions before the grand jury made their decision, and he took the Fifth Amendment, apparently. And a smart move. Don't give them information. Let the process work. And apparently he got good advice from his attorneys, and it did work out for him so far. And now they say they're going to, and you know, they're emboldened now. They're going to fight these civil cases with everything that they have now, especially since, I know they're different standards, but especially since the grand jury decided not to indict Deshaun. And even though that process is secret, you have to wonder what led them to decide not to indict him. And I understand that one of the 10 charges were not presented to the grand jury. So you have to wonder what led the prosecutors to not submit that charge to the grand jury. There may be some weaknesses in what the evidence is really going to say when you start getting to the civil trial.
You said Deshaun's legal team may feel emboldened now since the grand jury rendered its verdict, correct? You know, there's always this discussion about whether or not, especially in sports, do you drag this out and, you know, do you settle? Do you fight this? Do you just pay the money and make it go away? From an attorney standpoint, what are your thoughts about that?
You know, isn't it unfortunate? Sometimes you settle to settle. Sometimes you settle to get settled. And
that's a bar.
and that's real, because you get to the point where it's just not worth it, even if you're right. And that may be what happens here. You know, a lot of times an attorney will say, look, man, bottom line is we go to trial. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can't tell you what the jury is going to do. I can't tell you what you might go through. I can't anticipate what questions you might be asked in depositions or a trial that might lead to problems. Sometimes it's better to just pay folks off and move on. And the other thing is, the more money you got, the more money you got to settle. And so you might say to yourself, man, remember when Michael Jordan was gambling? And Stern said, well, you know, he might lose $10 million on the golf course. That's like $10 to him. I mean, Deshaun has money and he's getting ready to make a lot of money. That's true. You know, if it costs him $2, $3, $4, $5 million to get rid of this and move on with his life. He can make that in 2 quarters next year. So I mean, sometimes you just go ahead and do it like that and move on. It's not worth the trouble to fight.
Yeah. So now he's in a situation. So the grand jury has rendered their verdict. Now he's, like you said, they're starting to go into the whole situation with the civil cases and go through that. Now Deshaun is in almost like a bidding war for his services. Right now, well, this week it's been here in Charlotte, the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, also the Cleveland Browns, and the Atlanta Falcons. And just so you know, I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. But
y'all don't have any wide receivers, man. I don't know why Deshaun would want to go down, down to a team that doesn't have any wide receivers left. But
we got some wide receivers. They might not be on the field, but we got some wide receivers, dog. We doing good down there.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, man.
I'm saying, y'all just lost, I think, yeah.
I'm not doing that. Go ahead, man.
We'll talk about Atlanta. And by the way, we don't have any slots with the Cowboys. We've paid African-American quarterback $160 million, so we've met our obligation to the community.
To the community.
Yeah, with the Cowboys.
Man, 80% of the league is black, bro.
And that's not what like you just said, that's not what I'm talking about.
I got something to say about Atlanta in a minute, though. Okay. I'm saying anything else on the criminal side, or of the legal side as it relates to Deshaun Watson.
No, I think that's it, man. You never, isn't it interesting? You never say you're happy for anybody because you don't want to disrespect any of the alleged victims.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not happy necessarily for him, but at least he has a chance now to focus on the civil cases and kind of see if he can't work those out. And then if he gets that worked out, man, he's going to be able to move forward with his career and learn his lesson.
Yeah, man. Deshaun Watson, man, was doing his thing, man, down in Houston. Unfortunately, man, he didn't have a lot of help when he was with the Texans. And he just got downright indignant, like, bro, I want to leave. But, man, let me, when you're in, you were an agent. A lot of people may not know that. Ken, you were a real, certified sports agent.
Oh, yeah.
The black Jerry Maguire. That was you, right? And so, you have these pitch meetings and stuff where you take the players to the different teams.
The Blackberry Maguire.
Barry Maguire. That's your new nickname, Barry Maguire.
Yeah.
And, you had these pitch meetings where, you're in a position like Deshaun Watson. Man, you got everybody would love to have you, right? And so, man, now I was telling you, the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, the Cleveland Browns, I think he's already rejected them. Yeah. Carolina.
Steelers? Steelers in the hunt?
No, Steelers are definitely not in the hunt. They should have been. That would have been a safe haven for him.
Yeah, I thought nobody wants to go to the Steelers now.
He should, man. They got a good history with hiding criminal activity, so I think he should have considered that.
Ooh.
But I mean,
allegedly.
Shout out, being retired.
Tomlin, love you, my man.
Yeah.
What up, Newt?
But Ken, so you had these pitch meetings where the teams come in, they tell you, why you should come sign with us and all that. But man, I just wanted to paint a picture for you.
Oh, you talking about Ben Roethlisberger? I know.
No. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that one. You got you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Took a minute.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
But man, it's right now. It's 2022. I want you to think back, man. 20 years ago, a young boy is 5 years old, growing up in Gainesville, Georgia. And man, he looking at his TV screen and he see the greatest show on turf, Michael Vick. He see that number 7 with that falcon on the side of that black helmet. Woo! He see he see Michael breaking for all of these, running touchdowns. He see that commercial where, you remember they had the doggone roller coaster with Michael Vick experience, man. He seeing all of that. He seeing that when he was 5 years old, dog. Then fast forward about 5 years when he's 11 years old. Well, 6 years later when he's 11 years old.
Yeah.
Man, him and his mama not doing well, right? And guess what? My man Warwick Dunn, Falcon great, buys his mama and his family a house, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dog, now think about it, bro. 20 years later, Arthur Blank, the head man in charge.
Yes.
at the Atlanta Falcons saying, Deshaun, remember when you was in Georgia? You remember when you was in Gainesville, dog? Guess what? You are the next Michael Vick. But guess what? You already passed your transgressions, right? Now it's time for you to take your rightful place. The prodigal son, come on home. Woo, boy. I mean, I got chills thinking about that, dog.
But then he gonna grab his little history book, NFL history book.
What it gonna say?
And he gonna say, have they ever been to the Super Bowl?
Yes, twice.
Have they ever won the Super Bowl?
No.
I don't know, man. I gotta go somewhere with. Did they make the playoffs last year?
Listen, man, Carolina Panthers ain't won no Super Bowl they've been to. Listen, on the real tip. Because I know this, I got a feeling this is what they're saying. They're saying, come here. Yeah. What Ward Dunn did for you, you think about you taking that over and doing that. Home Depot, the headquarters is here. I'm Arthur Blank. Coca-Cola. Let's repair you. I'm gonna give you a 10-year contract. He doing all of that. He throwing all of that with them. And also, I'm gonna give you one more little caveat. What'd you say?
Atlanta.
Yes, dog. Atlanta.
We gotta.
You gotta be careful too.
We gotta put some
like LG say. Keep careful down there too. You gotta be
put
careful.
Some geographic limitations on there. You
like
go here, you can't go here.
You can't go nowhere actually.
Yeah.
But man, I just believe, when it comes down, because they're saying it's New Orleans and Atlanta. It's hard for me to believe. Although New Orleans got Kamara and Michael Thomas and all them, dog. If you grew up in Atlanta, it's hard for me to believe you're going to that.
Man, they already building up some walls trying to keep Zion from leaving New Orleans. So you don't ain't nobody trying to go to New Orleans right now. So if it's between New Orleans and Atlanta, he going to Atlanta.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
I'm like you, man. I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. And then he'll do 2 years down there, and then when Dax, get ready to retire, we know we got something.
Go over there.
Yeah, come
Dax retiring in 2 years.
We're going to give him about 3 years. Shoulder and that ankle or whatever you got.
Hey, Deshaun, dog, listen, when you're on the microphone, sometimes you don't want to go too hard. But man, go hard, dog. Take your place. Come on home, man. Come on home, man. We want you here, bro.
Falcon pride, baby. Falcon pride. Come on in, baby.
Dirty bird. We don't do that no more. What they doing now?
If you going to shoot your shot, shoot your shot.
The pterodactyl. What they, the pterodactyls? All right, man. So shout out to Deshaun, man. I guess I don't know if we just shout him out or not. But
30 minutes to pitch Deshaun on Atlanta, man. But that's good stuff. I ain't mad at you, dog. I ain't mad at you.
Hey man, I'm gonna
that's right. He gonna when he do his press conference, he gonna say, man, I was wavering back and forth, man. One night I woke up. And I was looking at YouTube, so in the black court, my boy Jay told me that this was where I needed to be, so it's all good.
Yeah, man. I hope he come, man, but I ain't gonna get my hopes up, though.
Yeah. If it's between Atlanta and New Orleans, he going to Atlanta.
I don't understand him not doing it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, man.
Man, Jay, I gotta be real with you, man.
About what?
I've been scared, man.
What you scared of?
I've been scared, man. I ain't losing sleep. I've been losing sleep over this, man.
Okay, what's that?
Because I started thinking,
let me get a drink.
Yeah, let me I got a drink, man. I got a drink, man, because I know I'm going to start sweating. I need to hydrate.
Okay. Yeah. LG,
I need to hydrate, man, because I'm going to start sweating talking about this.
Okay.
Man, the war's still going on over in Ukraine, man.
It's a war outside, son.
Yeah.
I'm about to say.
One of these streets and a war in Ukraine, man. And I was like, man, I'm nervous, man, because this thing seemed like it might spiral out of control. Putin, okay, I ain't good.
Well, look, relax.
Hey,
relax.
Look, bottom line is...
relax. He got YouTube over there, too.
I know I got to be careful, man, but Joe Biden called him a war criminal yesterday, so I guess you can say anything you want now.
Lindsey Graham said it, too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Putin wild. He wilding right now.
We can say that. He's definitely wild.
And so the bottom line is... I got nervous. I started thinking, man, what if this thing? Because Zelensky.
Who is Zelensky?
He's the president of Ukraine.
Oh yeah, okay.
He went on TV yesterday and spoke to Congress.
Yeah, they gave him a standing ovation, didn't they?
Did a good job, man. He had on his T-shirt Looking like
he kind of swole too.
Yeah, he
look
kind of been lifting weights and
he
everything.
do CrossFit or something, dog.
Yeah, he looked good out there, man.
Yeah.
And our, really, the things he talked about Pearl Harbor and talked
He
about
Jedi'd him, dog. He Jedi'd him. I was like,
you gotta give him props, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, where you get all this in a bunker somewhere? You got all this information. What type of computers y'all got down there? But he really did a great job. But he said, man, look, we need this no-fly zone in the Ukraine, man. This is terrible. Russia's bombing theaters and maternity wards and children and women. We are really praying for the people of Ukraine.
Yeah, man.
God bless them, and God will bless them. But he was like, we need this no-fly zone because, man, we get rid of that no-fly zone. We can handle some business with Russia.
Yeah.
But, the United States like, yo, man, we do that.
It's on.
It's on. And now because, the Russian planes are flying, U.S. planes are flying. There's going to be a conflict and an incident, and it could spiral into this world war situation. Yeah. So I started thinking, man, this is what had me staying up at night. I thought, man, what if it did kick off like that?
Yeah.
How is the United States situated to handle Russia? And then Russia been talking to China, so it made me even more uncomfortable, man. How would it kick off if Russia and China teamed up?
Yeah.
And you had the U.S., all we get.
And everybody in NATO.
NATO and
talk
India.
Like that. You was about to fly by that pretty quick.
Yeah, NATO, India, and all that. We got some other folks, some teammates. But
did you say India?
Yeah, India. Hey,
you gotta stop.
Hey, let me hit you. I'm a surprise.
Okay.
India has the fourth. This is what I learned in this research, man.
Okay.
Fourth largest military in the world, my man.
Fourth.
Okay,
so U.S. Russia,
China, India. Believe it or not. Believe it or not.
I did see that.
See, that's what I'm saying. I had to go in and figure out, what's going on, how this thing gonna stack up, man. I did Carolina and Marquette first. I analyzed that. And I'm like, U.S., Russia, and China, how we stack up? What I found was astonishing. Because, let me tell you something. If you want to get comfortable, I know y'all nervous out there just like I
know, man. You scaring folks. Go ahead.
But look, the United States has, in many estimates, by far, the most powerful and most sophisticated military in the world.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the thing that we've hung our hat on forever. It's why, some people, I don't want to get in trouble with folks, but, there's organizations and things, that's what they talk about all the time. This is the United States of America. We always want to be, clicked up and, and be ready to be able to do what we need to do. I got some numbers I looked up. I wanted to see what you came up with.
All right. So I'm going to start off with, first of all, I use the word Space Force. I didn't even know we had a Space Force.
Yeah, shout out to, didn't Donald Trump start it?
I think Donald Trump.
He did. He started that.
That's going to be one of the few times we ever going to give him props on this podcast. Donald Trump, I believe, did start Space Force. I give it a prop. The space initiative to provide a defense system for the United States, got to give him props. No other country can really compete. But let me tell you where we got the big advantage that I didn't know.
Okay.
Man, it's aircraft carriers.
Aircraft carriers. Oh, yeah? What we got there?
Man, I don't know if our listeners know how significant an aircraft carrier is.
Okay.
An aircraft carrier, as many of you have seen, are these massive ships that have all these airplanes on deck. You see the planes flying in, they got the little rope and catch it to plane and all that. So, that's kind of the image we have. We think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Do you know that one aircraft carrier typically has the firepower of many nations?
Wow.
One aircraft carrier has the firepower of many nations out there. So you got all these planes, all these nuclear tipped warheads. You've got all this radar. They've got rail guns now, laser guided missiles. Aircraft carriers are, for lack of a better word, the bomb. They are the bomb. And Russia and China combined have how many aircraft carriers do you think?
5.
2.
Dang.
And one is out of service.
that we know about.
One aircraft carrier between Russia and China. You know how many the United States has?
I mean,
11.
wow.
By far and away, the most dominant force in warfare, period.
And that's what we can, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would say from a conspiracy theorist standpoint, that's what we know about. I'm sure they have other stuff that's classified that no one knows about unless we would have to use it, and then we'll see what's up.
The other thing is that the United States, by far and away, has the best and most powerful Air Force in the world. Our planes are far more sophisticated than those of Russia and China. And the one thing that is kind of an aircraft carrier in the air, the one thing that strikes fear for China and Russia is this B-52 bomber.
Yes, sir.
That has so much capacity when it's in the air to engage in so much destruction that it's just a terrifying weapon. But also our smaller planes are far more technologically advanced than those of Russia and China. And then our Navy, even though numerically we don't have more ships and submarines than China and Russia combined, our ships are far more technologically advanced and our subs are far more technologically advanced. And I didn't even know, man, I found out we've got all these nuclear subs that are self-sustaining from an energy standpoint that have 2 nuclear reactors on board. And so our military is really, for lack of a better word or words, off the chain, man.
Yeah, I read this on heritage.com. They do a 2022, I guess they do an index every year where they do an accounting or inventory on what we have from a U.S. military strength. I don't know if this sounds like a lot. You tell me. They said the Army has 50 brigade combat teams. The Navy has 400 battle force ships and 624 strike aircrafts. The Air Force, as you were mentioning, has 1,200 fighter/ground attack aircrafts. The Marines has 30 battalions, and Space Force has satellite platforms, ground stations, and personnel sufficient to support warfighting requirements. I mean,
and the other interesting thing that I didn't know, Jay.
If you line that all up, you remember how you used to play G.I. Joe and you line all your stuff up? You line all that up, that looked like a lot.
That's a lot. The other thing is that the United States maintains a well-trained reserve force. You know that in other countries, their reserves don't train like ours do.
Yeah, they go every month.
Our reservists are ready, prepared, trained up to use our equipment to engage in battle. Russia, China, their reservists aren't trained like that. Yeah. So we've got a much more well-trained reserve force than Russia and China.
Yeah, I'm sure you have family members or friends that are in the reserve. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Dennis. He's in the reserve as well. I believe, what is it? What's the other thing? It's not the Army. What's outside of National Guard? He's in there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought also, man, that Russia had us on tanks, but our tanks are a lot more sophisticated than theirs. So I think the whole thing that made me feel more comfortable is that the United States military is a lot more advanced than the militaries in Russia or China. Yeah. And, really from a mobilization standpoint, just a fantastic, well-oiled machine. Last thing I wanted to say. Yeah. There is one country that is considered immune from invasion in the world.
Who?
And it's the United States.
Oh,
There's too much water between us and our adversaries for somebody to invade the United States. It's, you never say something's impossible.
But they ready to go. They got all kinds of technology where they can see when you cross different areas, and they ready in an instant to go up there and meet you.
Yeah. So no, man, I'm sleeping a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So you was you snuggling up and start saying, 1,200 aircrafts.
Yeah, Space Force.
Donald Trump did it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I feel a little bit better. I hope you feel better too. I just want to get that out, man.
Scared right now. They're like, Lord Jesus, they go. So if the draft, my mama talking about the draft go.
If that war kick off, we might be all right, dog. We might have a little something for you, man.
Yeah. I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. All right. Can we change What was that? What was that?
That's good stuff right there, man.
It is,
People
I
gonna
guess.
sleep better tonight, man.
I know, man.
I know, y'all. That's like what's the medicine you take to sleep?
I know,
That's
man.
what that is, dog.
Sound like fentanyl you talking about.
War zones or something. That's some good stuff right there. Relax, y'all. We got it. You gotta stay strong, dog.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Your gas high right now, bro.
I know, man. Gas high, so is groceries. Let's go, dog.
All right, man. What you want to talk about next? Kyrie. Man, you've been playing for the past couple of weeks, man. You've been doing Kyrie real dirty. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kyrie. Man. Kyrie, first of all, he went off the other night. What he scored like 60
Kyrie
points.
made a mistake. He didn't put this on.
Yeah, we're gonna forgive him for that.
Yeah.
He won my heart over when he hit that shot against the Golden State Warriors and helped win that championship for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, for LeBron, you know what I mean. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
But Kyrie, man, hasn't been able to play. Well, first of all, Kyrie has only been playing. He didn't play any games for the first half of the season, and then because Kyrie didn't want to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right. And New York City has mandates in place where if you are unvaccinated, then you couldn't play. Now, I do want to talk about this particular mandate that was the Mayor Adams, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
Adams. Yeah, that I think de Blasio might have created the law or the mandate, but he's kind of upheld it. But the original one says that workers in New York City who perform in-person work or interact with the public in the course of business must show proof that they have received a COVID-19 vaccine. Businesses may not allow any unvaccinated workers to work at their workplace. A workplace is considered any location, including a vehicle. So Uber drivers, you too, where you work in the presence of at least one other person. So what has everyone up in arms now is now they have allowed they've kind of peeled things back where, okay, you can come to a game, a sporting event, and you don't have to be vaccinated. And then if you play for another team that's not from New York, your player who has not been vaccinated, they can play. So everyone in New York, well, people who are sports fans who care about the Brooklyn Nets or whatever, also the Mets and the Yankees, now they're concerned about Aaron Judge and people like that. They're not going to be able to play. And your man from Harlem, I think, Mayor Adams say, listen, I got 9 million people to worry about, bro. I can't be worried about, NBA schedules and all of that. Y'all gotta relax. So I'll let y'all know we're gonna peel it back and y'all can do something about that. So what's your take on that? Is Kyrie wrong? Is the mayor wrong? Like what's your stance on this? What's your take?
Nobody's wrong. Nobody's wrong in this
Nobody's
situation.
wrong. Okay.
Kyrie's right. I mean, I'm not an anti-vaxxer.
He's right or he has rights?
Both.
Okay. All right.
He's right to make a personal decision about his health and decide that he doesn't want to take the vaccination for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's right.
Okay.
And actually, as the pandemic wanes, and let's hope it continues to wane, let's knock on wood on that.
Yes, sir, please.
Pray to the good Lord on that one.
Mm-hmm.
There should be some relaxing of the rules so that he can go ahead and move forward with his profession.
Yeah.
At the same time, my brother Eric Adams is right. He got a whole city to look out for. He can't shape the rules for Kyrie. He's worried about, look, I got a city of 1 billion people here. And if this thing kick off again, there's a lot of people who are going to be hurt and facing the consequences of that. So my decision making is as a mayor, protecting the millions upon millions of people that depend on me to make good decisions here in the city of New York. And until I feel comfortable that this thing might not revive and cause a whole lot of problems, death, use of resources and all that, I'm going to stick to my guns. Both of them right.
All right. I don't know if both of them right. Let me think through this. So first, I will say this about Kyrie. I feel like Stephen A. Smith. I got to do a disclaimer every time I say something, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to say this first. Kyrie made a decision, and it's well within his rights, to not get vaccinated for whatever reason. But I will say this, man. Every decision you make, you got to stand on it. And I'm not saying that he's not, but maybe I am. Kyrie has to stand on the decision that he made, which is not to get vaccinated. right? And because of that, and he has every right to, there are consequences. There are things to deal with in relationship to that. What I didn't like, what I kind of didn't like on last Sunday, Kyrie showed up to the Brooklyn Nets game. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and they were playing against the New York Knicks at Brooklyn. And Kyrie, now, like we said, let's paint the picture. Kyrie plays for the Brooklyn Nets because Brooklyn is a team or business inside of New York City. Their employees, Kyrie is an employee of the Brooklyn Nets. He can't work in that city without being vaccinated, but he can attend the game. So Kyrie show up with his $10,000 jacket on, that's fly. He's sitting in the visitor section across from the bench. Dog, it's a bad look. It was a bad look for him to walk into the game, be able to go in the game. He actually went in the locker room. He wasn't supposed to do that, and the Brooklyn Nets were fined by the NBA $50,000 because he wasn't supposed to do that. You can't break. They don't.
But Kyrie can't go to the game like other people because he plays. I mean, I'm not getting that.
He went to the game.
Yeah,
but he can't play in the game. He's able. He can. The wall right here is 6 feet away from us, and he can't go on the court, but he can sit in a seat. So it seems a little contradictory. Like, why are people allowed to come into a building and 17,000 people breathe the same air, but you can't come in and play?
What? So are you blaming Kyrie or are you blaming the...
Well, first I'm blaming Kyrie because he decided to not get vaccinated. So I'm saying, number one, I think if he was going to pull stunt like that to me felt like a PR stunt. That's all they talked about in New York, and national news on Monday was Kyrie was at the game and why isn't he able to play? I think Kyrie should have been like, hey, and then Kevin Durant had something to say about that too. He said he felt that whether it was Adam Silver he was talking about or Mayor Adams, he said, Mayor Adams, I think he's looking for attention. And I'm saying Kyrie, last thing I'll say, Kyrie should be like, listen, I chose not to get vaccinated, right? I'm grateful that I'm able to play in away games, and that's it. Don't be posturing and making all this.
Kyrie saying, what type of ignorance is this? I didn't come to the game and sit behind the bench, but I can't play. What type of sense does that make? I mean, I think Kyrie, the one reason why I give Kyrie a big pass is because he has appeared to be a very intelligent, calculated young man. And,
sometimes,
and so I'm like, whatever his reasons are, he probably thought it through and decided that for either medical reasons or some research he saw, he made the same decision that Aaron Rodgers made. And he decided he's not going to get vaccinated. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with the lunacy of the rules about you being in a stadium, sitting behind a bench, and you can't play. I don't get that. I mean, if you can go in the stadium and, like you said, breathe the same air the players are breathing, I mean, what's the difference between that and putting on a jersey and going out on the court? It's matter of fact, you're near less people in the game than you are sitting in the stands and walking out with the crowd. I don't get that. Let the man go ahead and play, be for real with you. Make sure that the rules make sense for everybody. But I also get Eric Adams. If you're going to have rules, they're going to have to be applied universally. But I think Kyrie at this point, man, let the brother go ahead and handle his business. I'm scared now because if you say, Kyrie, you can't play at home games, this is playoffs now, dog.
Yeah.
That means, so if you got a 7-game series and you lose your 4 home game because Kyrie isn't playing, LG, I think that's 4-3, right? You lost the series. Come on, man. Let that man play some basketball, man.
So let me say this. So Kyrie went to Duke. He got into Duke. Yeah. And you said he's calculated. He probably thought things through. I believe he has. He's talked about it many times. He said
second most valued diploma in the country.
He's also said that one of the reasons that he wasn't getting vaccinated was because he didn't feel that it was fair because of this vaccine mandate, that businesses could force people to, if they wanted to keep their job, they had to get vaccinated. He didn't think that was fair. Now, he is actually prototypically one of those individuals that he's fighting for. But what I would like to see from him is to communicate and articulate that. Like, what I am fighting for is what is actually happening right now. The other thing, too, is he could solve all this by getting vaccinated.
He don't want to get vaccinated.
Okay, now, so if you don't want to get vaccinated, guess what? You gotta stand on what you got. Don't complain about it.
And
Don't
see,
complain about being about the rule. If you, because let me say this: why is this rule? Why is this mandate in place? That's because you have a business. I have a business. People have businesses out here, man. And so if you hiring folks and if someone gets infected with the virus and it causes an outbreak, now I'm shut down. My business has to shut down. So that is in place. And also you don't want to, infect other people who may come to the business.
I ain't gonna call it out for what it is, but let me say something.
It?
I saw Aaron Rodgers. Did Aaron Rodgers ever get vaccinated? As far as we know,
he got immunized, is what he said.
I mean, I never heard of him getting vaccinated.
He took the horse stuff. He took the little horse medicine that they were talking about.
Well, I mean, he getting tackled by...
He did take it.
Yeah. He getting tackled by 10, 11 people.
He lied, though, Ken.
And Kyrie didn't. That's what I'm saying. Why they treat Kyrie like this, man?
Kyrie is a G for it. He said, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, continue to be a G about it, though. Say, hey, guys, Kevin Durant don't have... Like, it's all good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it's all right. I chose to not get vaccinated, and now there's rules in place. Hopefully... they'll be, lifted by the time the season is over. What else we talking about?
No, he ain't supposed to. He's supposed to say, look, bottom line is I decided not to get vaccinated. Y'all tripping. I'm sitting right behind the bench.
You can't have it both ways.
Come on, dog. Y'all tripping, man. Make up your mind, man. People can come into the stadium and breathe on each other. 50,000 people can breathe on each other, and I can't play in the game? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Let the dude go ahead and play. But let me tell you what.
What? It's the law, Attorney Harris. It's the law.
No, we'll change it. and bottom line is, they better not mess up the Nets. By the way, you were wrong about Drummond. But the Nets...
You're right. I was wrong about Drummond.
Yeah, the Nets. Man, let that dude play, man. Do not cost him.
He ain't do nothing for the Lakers. Go ahead.
He handling his business out there right now.
Yeah.
But don't make the Nets lose the... playoffs because they're not allowed to play Kyrie for half the game. That don't make no sense, man.
Your boy already said, he said, hey, he from Harlem. He like, hey, I'm not going to compromise 9 million people for one player, for a player that everybody's talking about.
Yeah. And I like Eric Adams. Man, you see Eric Adams?
Yeah.
The brother is real, man.
Yeah, he's smooth with his suit.
He's smooth with it.
You know what I'm saying? He
polished.
Yeah. Yeah, but I listen, I think I do understand. Like, if I can be in the building and there's people in the building that's not vaccinated, I can go in the building and I'm a player and I'm unvaccinated and I can be in, but I can't play. Yeah. That kind of doesn't make sense. But you would tell me, because I know you a little bit. I don't know you for a while, because there are laws in place. It's about how those laws apply. And you can't look at this rare, unique situation and try to use that against the greater good or all of these situations. There's tons of businesses where there could be a situation where customers need to feel comfortable that they can come into a place and that those employees are not going to infect. You would tell me that. I know
you're right until the law
would you not tell me that?
Rule doesn't make sense. And when you start saying, yeah, I get what you're trying to accomplish, but somebody can sit right behind the bench and not be vaccinated, and you saying that same person can't play in the game, then you start getting into that territory where it doesn't really make sense to me. But hey, man,
I know. But I would say this too.
Yeah,
that's the argument that I normally would have, and you would tell me, but the law is in place right now. Hey, there's a lot of laws that are in place right now.
Hoops, man.
I know there's a lot of laws that are in place right now.
We're talking about ball,
that we have to adhere to, that are not fair, but it's still all the law.
It's a law against being sorry, but the Lakers get to play. The Lakers get to play every 2 nights. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And so you know the bottom line is that's the way it is, man. Look, but I'm gonna answer. Hey, look, y'all out there.
Comment on the thing.
On the thing down below the thing. Comment below the thing right there, and tell us whether or not you think Kyrie should be allowed to go ahead and play, especially in the playoffs. I think the brother. Okay, I can't tell you what to say, but the bottom line is, man, Kyrie. Somebody need to help Kyrie get out on that court during the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking.
Couple things. Let's take care of some housekeeping since you pointed out where I was wrong. Yeah. I would say that you were definitely right You were wrong about the Philadelphia 76ers.
I was definitely wrong on that.
But I understand how you feel about the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. Like, they look, if the games where Kyrie and Kevin Durant are playing together, if they just had Ben Simmons, Lord, let's pray for Ben's mental health right now. Because if he could get back on the court, it looks unstoppable.
Man, Kyrie had 41 points by halftime the other night. I mean, that's unrealistic, man. How can you have 41 points by halftime? That's just, to me, unimaginable. I went back and looked at the highlights. I still couldn't believe it because it did, for real, look like he was playing a video game. He just could do anything he wanted, literally, for a whole half. So you add that to Durant and then Ben Simmons when he was playing well. That's too much, man. That's too much on one team, for real.
All right, and one more thing. Maybe this is the episode where Jay talks about all the stuff that I was wrong about. Man, I felt bad, dog. I looked at the last pod, and I looked at how you was looking at me when I was talking bad about Brittany Griner, dog. Even though I still feel a certain kind of way. But I read some stories, and they were talking about don't victim shame. And then, I don't know if you haven't seen the last episode, please go back and see the episode where we talked about Brittany Griner being detained in Russia. And I don't know if you saw this, Ken, but her court date is moved back to like May 7th. Dog. And, I thought about this too. In United States, I was like thinking about it, right? Okay, let's say she did have some hashish oil. Allegedly, that's what they're saying that she was caught at the airport with. And I liken that to, what if somebody in the hood or anywhere got caught with like a little dime bag of marijuana and they were detained for multiple months just because of that.
Saying she might get 5 years for that in Russia.
Yeah.
And like I say, after what has happened, even since we last talked about it, I don't think there's anybody who's going to give Russia a pass concerning trust.
Mm-hmm.
It is very possible that they targeted Brittany Griner. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Either way, it seems harsh.
But either way, it seems very harsh. And I really, really sympathize for her. Hope she can work her way out of the situation. Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough, man. Like you say, the embassy closed over there. There's no advocate over there right now for her.
That's tough, man.
All we can do is really pray for her and her family. So
free Brittany.
Free Brittany, dog.
Yeah.
Free Brittany. And then hopefully they can find some way to help LeBron get out of here. You know what I'm saying, for us too, man. He ain't got but a couple more years.
Yo, man.
Hopefully they'll find a way to get him up out of
here. I know this ain't a sports podcast all the way.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Why Russell won't act right though? Why he won't just at a press conference just say, you know what, man, I can play a little bit better. I can be malleable. I can be a better teammate. Let me do that. Every time he at a press conference, like my grandma used to say, he give him his hind end to kiss. Yeah. That's all he does, man.
You said it earlier. Sometimes just be quiet.
Just be quiet, dog.
You need to be quiet. Now he's starting to look sorry out there too. Russell Westbrook was my favorite player in the league for 2 or 3 years. And I'm saying now he looks like he's starting to look kind of a little bit like a scrub out there a little bit from time to time, man.
Man, Pat Beverly with the Minnesota Timberwolves say he trash and did his nose like that.
He did, man. It's getting bad. But look, man, as we get to the end, Jay, I don't want
to leave, man.
I know everybody out there feel more comfortable tonight that we gave you those stats on the United States military. Everybody can sleep a little bit better now. That's all we wanted to try to achieve as a public service, to make sure everybody out there get their rest at night, get that full 8 hours, and I know you're going to sleep better knowing you got those 11 aircraft carrier out there.
Trivia question.
Handling business. 11.
How many aircrafts?
United States has 11. Each one has enough weapons to defeat a small nation. We got them right now, dog. We good.
Hey.
USA.
4th of July around the corner, dog.
And y'all don't forget the Honey Hunters season opener is the 21st. If you're in or around the Charlotte area, guest on the Honey Hunters.
Shout out to the Honey Hunters.
Yes, sir. Come on out. Enjoy a wonderful family fun field night of baseball in Gastonia.
Yeah.
And
Go Honey Hunters.
Shout out to honeyhunters.com is where you can get tickets. Shout out to my man
Brandon Bellamy.
Veronica and the whole team over there. Love y'all.
Love y'all, man. Shout out to the Honey Hunters.
Yes, sir. Well, that's
You done?
It. Good night.
We done, man.
Good night.
This
That's
one
our
went.
time.
This one went kind of fast, man.
Yeah, comment on the thing down below the thing.
Hey, man. Fun every week, man. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, love y'all. Peace.